Hello friends, this is my capstone project. My project name is Global Terrorism on Dataset and my project type is Exploratory Data Analysis. My contribution is individual and my name is Arjun Sharma. So now we come to project summary. So in project summary we see and we first of all we download our data. Then we import the necessary libraries we needed. Then import our data set, find the missing values in it, do the encoding of the categorical variables, then do the data cleaning and feature engineering for exploratory data analysis. In exploratory data analysis, first we see the variation in number of terrorist attacks over the years. Then we visualize the regions and countries most affected by which type of terrorist attacks over the years. Countries with the highest count plots for the top four attack types. Check the variation in people got killed and wounded from 1970 to 2017. Check how in India attack types vary over the years and number of people got killed vary due to these types of attacks. Then we make the correlation heat map of prominent variables in dataset and we make pair plot of prominent variables of dataset. This is the GitHub link. This is our problem statements in which uh, we see the attack types in which our data set there is attack types, location, date, type of attack, target, number of casualties, and by doing the EDA, we discover some patterns, generate visualization, and understood trying to understand the nature and trends of global terrorism. This is the our business objective where we could use the uh, output, the insights which we got in the security reasons, in making the insurance, risk assessment, investment and finance, supply chain management, media and news reporting, corporate social responsibility, crisis management, marketing and branding, and so on. These are the general guidelines where we can see that our project is well structured, formatted, competent codes, which we had done, which we will see further. These are the imported libraries which we import. This is the data set loading. We load our data set. This is the first view where we do the head and tail of our data set. These are the number of rows and columns of our data set. It's 1,81,000 rows and 135 columns. These are the this is the information of our data set variables. How many null and non-null values are there? What are the data types of these variables? These are the duplicate values. There is 0 duplicate rows in our data set. Missing values, count of missing values, and the visualizing the missing values of our variables. Here the columns where we describe our data set. For every variable there is count, unique values, top value, the standard minimum value, maximum value. Here is the variable description. The variable description, there is event ID, year, month, country. Here event ID is unique for every row, and kill here and kill is the number of people got killed. Number and wound is number of people get wounded, and killer is the number of preparators got killed. G name is the group name, motive the motive of the attack, and so on. Here are the unique values. How many unique values are there in each variables? Here it is. Here we do the data wrangling, preparing our data set data for doing the exploratory data analysis. Here we do the renaming of our columns for better and so that we could understand it better. Here we do enumerate our some of our columns. So doing the mapping of it, converting the unique values of it in the numerical form, coding it, the categorical form. Here we just fill the null values, the number of people got killed with the mean of it, number of wounded people with the mean, nationality and target subtype with the mode. Here Here we do on some more data wrangling. We prepared some of our data for we used it further in exploratory data analysis. Here we did, this is all the EDA we had done. Now it is the visualization part. This is our first visualization code over here. Here we can see we had plotted the count plot for the number of years what we had done, what is the count of number of attacks over the year. Here it is. So from 1970 to 2070, here we can see there is a wave. It is in the wave form. There is a number of attacks increasing till 1992. Then they got decreased to 2004, and then again it will get increase, and then try to get decrease. Why did we pick this specific chart? Because it will give the variation in the number of terrorist activities over the years. Here, what insights we had found from this chart. So here we can see different in the answer. In the 1970, there are 651 attacks, and now it is 10,900 attacks in 2017. So the attacks got increased 1,574.35% increase from 1970 to 2017. Average number of attacks per year from 1970 to 75 in the starting 5 years is 580. The average of all the attacks from 1970 to 2017 is 3,865, and in the recent 5 years it is 13,678.2. So there is an increasing trend. The number of attacks are increasing rapidly. What insights we will found over the year? Terrorist attacks are increasing, which means the measures taken to prevent the attacks are not enough. Here we come to the next chart, where it is an area plot of the regions from 1970 to 2010. This shows the number of terrorist activities in the different regions. As we can see from 1970, the beginning, all the regions are having almost equal amount of terrorist activities. As we can see, the South America from 1980 to 2000, the number of terrorist activities are high, but now they had reduced it very much. Now it is almost zero, but in the Middle East and North African region, the terrorist activities are pretty high, and in the South Asian region also, in the recent years, it is high in number. Although we can see in the recent some of the years, all these terror activities are falling. And here we can see the regions we had for the proper count. We can see here in the Middle East region we had plotted a count plot. So 50,474 number of attacks. Then South Asia around 45,000 number of attacks, and then South Asia and so on. Australia is having the least number of attacks. Similarly, for the countries, Iraq is having the highest number of terrorist activities, followed by Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India. Here we plotted. Here we can see the line plot for this. For the region attack, and here we can see this line plot for the countries. As we can see, the Iraq is having a massive rise here in the number of attacks. So, why did we pick this plot? It shows the top 15 countries and regions having the highest number of terrorist activities. So we could find the top countries and regions for these attacks. Similarly, this is what we find. So what are the insights we find from this chart? So here we can clearly see that the countries in which these terror activities has taken a certain rise are either sharing the geographical boundaries or geographically nearer to each other. Similarly, some same observation we can see for the region distribution. So the insights we found is that uh, from this plot is the countries which are affected by these terrorist activities are geographically nearby to each other. Mostly of them are sharing the boundaries with each other. Now we come to the third chart, in which we can see the attack types. What are the which attack types is the highest in numbers? So bombing and explosion is the highest in number, followed by arms or assaults, assassination, then and so on. So these are the plots. Here, what we had done, we had taken the four most preferred types of terrorist attacks, which are bombing, armed assaults, assassination, and hostage taking, kidnapping. And we see the countries for each of the plots. These types of attacks are referred by which of these countries. Here we can see, for example, here we can see in the count plot for the bombing and explosion, Iraq is at the highest. For armed assaults, Pakistan is at the top, and for the assassination, United Kingdom is at the top, and for the hostage taking, India is at the top. So it clearly visualizes that four types of terror attacks in the world. It gives us a proper idea uh, how these terrorist activities are uh, are occurring in the different parts of world, and which terrorist attack type they are preferring in the different countries. Iraq has suffered the most from the bombing, as we can see. We can learn about the most commonly used method in the terrorist attack at different countries. In those particular countries where the particular types of attacks is high in number, we should take preventive actions in those countries against those types of attacks. It will definitely decrease the overall number of terrorist activities in the world. Then our fourth plot is the number of people got killed and wounded. how these terrorist activities which are occurring and the number of people got killed, what is how it varies over the years and number of people got wounded. Here we can see this plot shows that. The above graph shows variation in people got killed. This is what we had mentioned. The people got killed and the wounded. Its variation. The understanding what we get from this plot is the understanding patterns to the gravity of terrorist activities over time, measured in terms of number of human lives lost and wounded. This has the potential to impact policy formation, disaster preparedness, insurance policies, and healthcare services. A rising pattern might result in adverse economic effects in hindering population stability, investments, and overall progress. So it will give us the data how the people are suffering. People get suffered the wound in the case of wounded as well as people died. So that we could, according to it, we could prepare the insurance policies in those regions and the healthcare, the disaster preparedness, we could prepare for it. In the fifth chart, we had particularly see in India how these attacks are occurring, how these attack types are varying, and how many people are getting died from these types of attacks. As we can see here. So why did we pick this specific in particular from India 1970 to 2017? The preceding pair of line graph illustrates the fluctuation in the occurrence of various types of attacks and the corresponding changes in the number of fatalities resulting from these attacks across different years. In India, attacks has increased, but number of people get killed many a times as attack happened. This is the insights we had found is that from the bombing in the recent years, the terrorists preferred in India, but from 2066, the attacks due to bombing, we could in India, the securities had managed to save the lives of the people due to the bombing, and it has significantly reduced, as we can see here. And the highest number of people died are from the armed assaults, although it is second preferred by this terrorist group, and then the people got died uh, from the bombing is almost quite equal to the hostage taking. Here we had make this correlation heat map. Here we can see the correlation between the uh, highest correlation between the attack type and the weapon type. It means that the weapon type decides what type of attacks it is there is going to be occurred, and the year and the cities means uh, and at the different times, different cities, places are preferred, are being chosen by these terrorist groups. Here in this correlation chart, we can see the weapon type has correlation 0.66 with the attack type, which is simply to justify that the region, this particular type of attacks need a specific type of weapon. So what solution we are getting from here is in this is that by stopping the and restricting the smuggling manufacturing technology transfer component sales of weapons, we can reduce the particular type of attacks and its impact. And we can see when there is no weapon type involved almost in all the years, the deaths are zero due to it. So if we could stop the manufacturing of the weapons, we could significantly reduce the attacks. Now, here we come to the business objective. After analyzing the global terrorist dataset through EDA, numerous suggestions can be formed. Here we talk about the solution: comprehend annual patterns, concentrate on areas of high terrorist activities. We can concentrate on the areas where the number of terrorist activities are pretty high. We could specifically focus on those areas, and so we can see the attack types there also. And attack types is directly correlate with as we 0.66 with the weapon type. So by specifically we can say that by have an eye on the weapon types by stopping its manufacturing, its smuggling, the raw materials. We can just decrease the number of deaths and number of terrorist attacks over there. So this is our EDA. Here is the conclusion which we had drawn from our project. This is the overall conclusion which we draw from our EDA. So thank you.